So hey guys, we're back with Kamen Rider Blade Commentary Part 1.
Oh man, we're definitely gonna just jump right into it like Blade wants to apparently do, right?
Yeah, because we get our card game anime.
Yeah. Oh,
That's my first notice, card game anime.
It sure is a card game
This
anime.
time I took notes and I did not get a cheat sheet of what happens in episodes.
That's okay. That is okay. But, what I'm talking about when Blade likes to jump right in, I mean it. Because it feels like the first two episodes are actually like episodes 7 and 8. It's
more like episodes 3 and 4.
Whatever. It definitely feels like the first couple of... The first arc, like the first kind of like mini arc in the beginning, is just like, this should have happened a few episodes later than when it has. Because in the beginning, we don't even really get, like, a real grasp on our characters before we're suddenly, like, quote-unquote, mixing up their dynamics and all this other stuff.
Yeah, it's like they exist as actual people and because everybody is, like, a real person, nobody bothers to, like, start expositing about things unless somebody doesn't actually know about it.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah.
It's because they were real people. It's really weird.
Oh man, I was watching that video of world building from Mother's Basement.
Oh yeah.
And he's like it's all right if the character in Overlord doesn't know because he wasn't there, and even then like he doesn't even ask the questions a lot of time. Darling in the Franxx, nobody, like, we don't know anything because it makes no sense for anybody to just start saying things.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, they had a good starting point with when Kenzaki... Alright, so our main character, Kenzaki, is our Kamen Rider Blade. And he's a part of this research institute...
Board.
Thank you, I completely blanked on the name of the institute. You're gonna hear that a lot from me, like, I haven't been paying that much attention. But, so he joins this, he's a part of this institute called Board that fight these monsters called undead, which they're not really zombies, they're just called undead because they used to be dead or something. They were monsters sealed, they were 53 monsters or whatever sealed in cards because 10,000 years in the past, they and humans were all fighting. It was the 53 monsters plus humans that were fighting in order to become the dominant species of the planet.
Yeah.
And then humans won that fight. So all of the other undead got sealed into cards. And then now, in this day and age, the strong futuristic year of 2004, they all get released upon the world.
Yeah. When they actually explain this, they say that there was 53 undead plus, and humans got involved. And then when Scott kept asking me about, like, why does the numbers of the cards not match up with blah blah blah, and I was like, what? So I would assume that when the humans got involved, they just took the place of one of the other guys.
That still doesn't add up, really. The only reason I was like harping on it, and then I go, oh right, if we're not counting card, or it's like we're not counting things, 53 plus humans would be the double Joker, the second Joker. But apparently that's not the case because humanity has a card assigned to them according to Alan, but we're not there in the show yet, so it doesn't matter. Either way, that's basically the premise of the show, where Kenzaki is Kamen Rider Blade, and he's sort of kind of teamed up with this other Kamen Rider, Garen named Tachi, he's used by the guy named Tachibana. So in the first episode, we have Tachibana as Garen fighting this undead,
The bat,
the bat, and he's losing, and Kenzaki gets called in to drive in from fuck nowhere into the middle of fuck nowhere to assist Garen and fight the monster off. I don't even remember if it was Garen or Blade who gets the killing blow on him. I think it was Blade because he gets the tackle attack and then he gets his kick card.
No, it's Garen because then they have a talk. Then they have a talk about.
Oh, you're right.
They have a talk about like senpai kohai bullshit.
Or whatever. Yeah.
And like it's literally Kenzaki going like, "Oh, Tachibana, you're so good. Let me suck your dick."
Yeah, it was something like that. And then like Tachibana asks Kenzaki, he's like, "What do you fight for? What is your reason to fight?" Or whatever, and it's just like, "Oh, I kind of want to protect people," and he's just like, "That's not good enough," and then he kind of walks away, and then that's when we meet our friend Kotaro. Yeah, it is Kotaro.
It's Kotaro because he just decided to be mountain climbing because I don't know.
No, he was following the Kamen Riders. He explicitly says he was following the Kamen Riders because he knows what Kamen Riders are. So that leads me to believe that like people know what Kamen Riders are.
Some people, not everybody,
but not everybody. Only some people know what a Kamen Rider is.
Because if everybody knew what a Kamen Rider is, then there would be scenes that just would make no sense.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense whatsoever if everyone knew what a Kamen Rider was. But it's like, so we're there, and then we jump around really fast in this first episode because then suddenly we're following this guy who lives in the coffee shop. We're following Hajime.
Yeah.
Right? And I legit 100% blanked so hard watching this episode. I thought Hajime was Kenzaki.
Oh yeah, and that's the reason why I have a note that says all Japanese look alike.
That's not what I said. I said, holy shit. For whatever reason, I just thought he was the other guy.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to tell them apart.
Oh, now I understand that note. I just have a note that says Jacaranda, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's the name of the coffee shop.
What? Let me see. Jacaranda, huh? Do they ever say that?
No, they don't. You only ever see the sign. Anyway, Hajime lives with a widowed woman, or with a widow and her child, because of their dead husbando.
Yeah, and they also happen to be related to Kotaro. The mother is his sister, and his niece and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The niece is really, really fucking mouthy.
Yeah, she doesn't respect Kotaro at all.
In fact, she only ever calls him by his name rather than like uncle.
Yeah, whatever. Then we cut back to Board, where at this point, Kenzaki's gone home, only to find out that he's been evicted because he's neglected to pay 2 months worth of rent.
Yeah, and he starts like making a fuss about it, and then I go, "You did," and I was like, "Well, I mean, if he paid it up front, there shouldn't be a problem." And then the landlady mentions that he didn't pay 2 months in advance, and I go, "Oh, that's extra your problem. You knew what was going on."
Yeah.
Calls her an old hag while she's driving away, and then she turns around. What was that?
Yeah. Then Kenzaki goes back to Board because he has nowhere else to go. And he's when he gets there, the place is being attacked by bugs or locusts.
I thought he gets taken in by Kotaro in that old house before that happens.
Oh yeah.
So at some point, because he met Kotaro, and Kotaro was just like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna rat you out on your Kamen Rider secret." He's like, "I just want to write about Kamen Riders and become a bestseller," or he's a news reporter, whatever. Like, he doesn't actually do his job. Whatever his job is, he doesn't do it.
He's a writer of some kind. That's all we know.
He's a writer of some kind, but we barely see him doing his job. We see like he mentions it once in a while, but like aside from that, he's like way off to the side. He's like Faiza's Keitaro, which makes a lot of sense.
Not doing anything.
Yeah, he's definitely not doing anything, unfortunately. Also, he has an unnatural obsession with milk. Like, his refrigerator is jammed with milk.
Yes, it is.
All over the place.
Okay, so after he gets that place, then he goes back to Board.
Yeah, it's like, hey, luckily enough, I got a free home.
Yeah, and then Board was attacked by locusts, and then he has to fight the locust undead. And that's when we get like the first actual like standing, not doing anything, clear shot henshin. And then the Locust comes to attack him, puts the belt on, activates it, a giant holographic card shoots out, knocks the Locust away, and then he runs through the card and henshins.
Yeah, what's really, really cool about this season's henshin sequence is that it comes with a big like holographic wall that when the characters pass through it, they acquire their rider suits, and
they use it offensively a lot.
They use it both offensively and defensively. Like if monsters are about to attack them, they'll block attacks with it, or if the monster is like, latching onto them, they'll knock them away with it. It's actually really interesting that they have it, and that also, because it was a thing developed to fight the undead, that it has that function. Like that's a good function, and it makes sense, and I like it.
Yeah, and then this will carry on to like later series where they're using it like defensively to henshin, where some people will get attacked and then they'll are getting attacked while they're putting on their belts to henshin. And then the thing that transforms them shoots out and will block attacks for them and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The what's really interesting about the designs for the riders in this season is that they have a dual motif of both an animal, an insect, or well, technically an insect and then one or insects and then one arachnid, a bug of some sort, and then also a card suit. Blade is rhinoceros beetle, and then he's also representative of spades. Blade, spade.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Garen is diamonds, and he's also a Kawagata beetle, which also settles into him and Blade's dual motif, because Kabutos and Kawagatas are a thing in Japanese whatevers. Yeah. We see it a lot in a lot of other Rider series. Like Kabuto.
Boy, am I not ready for that.
Don't worry, we're still a few seasons away from Kabuto.
It's like one.
Wait,
Blade Hibiki Kabuto.
Yeah, we're still a couple of seasons away from Kabuto. I for real thought we were a bit further away from it. Oh, whatever.
Nah, there's a... I keep track of everything like how far away it is from Decade.
All I remember is Decade is the 10th after Kuga. Everything else is like a mishmash before and after. I have no idea anything about the only series I know for a fact is the one that's right after Decade, and that's Double. And I only know this because Double shows up in the one Decade movie I've seen without having seen Decade.
God.
So I know Double is right after Decade. And that's it. That's all I know. For right now, anyway.
The worst I've ever done of watching anything out of sequence is watch, like, aside from, like, the series as a whole, is when I went to watch, after I finished O's, I went to watch the O's Cross Fours movie, having not seen Fours. And the old, like, as I'm watching the movie, I'm like, man, who's this Fours guy? Like, I don't know if I like this that much, and by the end of the movie, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see it!
And now he's, like, got a huge boner for Fours.
I don't have a huge boner for Fours. That's where I like to make most of my jokes from.
He's got a huge boner for Fours. Anyway, let's get back to Blade.
My huge erectile dick is for Gaim. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, you even ordered the Kamen Rider belt.
Yeah, I did.
When we eventually get to Gaim, we'll have to use your belt as a thumbnail.
Oh man, I never thought I'd be so excited for Fruits and Samurais.
For Fruit Ninja the anime?
It's Fruit Samurai.
Fruit Ninja the anime, gotcha. So after Kenzaki defeats the Locust, that's when he gets his kick card.
Yeah,
because
it's literally called kick.
It's literally just kick, but that's how he activates his Hisatsu, the rider kick.
Yeah. We also see Tachibana show up to a room that's just filled with locust eggs. And then the locust eggs start hatching.
Yep. So As the facility was being attacked and Kenzaki was inside before he fights the locust monster, he finds one of the researchers. Please tell me you know her name.
I don't.
Hirose? Oh, I want to say it's something like that.
Nope, she's not in my notes. It's the only character whose name I didn't actually write out in the notes.
It's Hirose or something like that.
And then she was like, "Oh, Tachibana did this."
Tachibana was here, and he looked like he was kind of controlling the undead, maybe, possibly.
Because she blames Tachibana because like they have like footage. No, she doesn't blame Tachibana for the attack. She just says that Tachibana betrayed them, and then we get to see the videotape of Tachibana taking the president.
We also know that he was arguing with the chief of board, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
For a reason, which we eventually find out soon enough, that because of stuff, Tachibana's dying because of the rider belt system. The rider belt system.
We don't find out about that for a while. Anyway, so they Kenzaki takes Hirose back to Kotoro's place. It's like, oh yeah, we're staying here.
Luckily, he gets to be a freeloader.
Yeah, and Hirose's like, oh yeah, I'll take this room, and then like Kotoro's like trying to help her with like move stuff, and then she goes, actually, you don't come into my room, and he goes, do I really look like one of those people? And then she says, yes.
There's a flat yes. Which he kind of does though, like he's really, yeah.
Anyway, they set up the computer system in the house that lets them track undead. They get an undead signal from an undead that is attacking a group of people, which also happens to include Amane, the Kotoro's niece, on her school field trip. And when Hajime gets wind of this attack, because for whatever reason, it's like all the moms from the field trip know about the attack, but nobody's doing anything. It's really... he races off to go save her, and then henshins into Chalice.
Yeah, Hajime is like kind of the super loner dude.
Yeah, he's got the Mantis of Hearts.
Yeah, he's Mantis of Hearts. At first I thought he was a hornet, with the way his mask is designed, and his color scheme. But then,
unfortunately, it just so happens that Mantis plus Heart looks like Hornet.
Yeah. Once Alan showed me the card that he henshins with, and it has a praying mantis on it. So I was just like, oh, okay. I guess that makes sense why he's such an emotionless sociopath.
Yeah,
because mantises.
He likes to eat people's heads.
That's only the women. All mantises are emotionless sociopaths. This is proven by science. Trust me, I'm a scientist. I would know.
Oh man! Once you get around to explaining me the fish to birds thing, then I'll accept your qualifications.
Wait! No! I don't have to explain shit to you. You have to explain the fish to birds to me.
See, no, hold on. The difference is that I don't claim to be a scientist, and B, they said it in-game, in canon, so it's there, set in stone. I don't have to explain shit. All I have to do is tell you, they said it.
I get to tell you that that's a bullshit. And that shouldn't be how that worked.
No,
anyway,
canon.
Yeah, even if it's canon, doesn't mean I have to accept it. There's a lot of things I don't.
That just makes me really upset because I'm thinking about that stupid bullshit where all the fans were for fucking Cowboy Bebop were like, "Oh no, Spike's dead," and the writer was like,
"Spoilers for Cowboy Bebop."
Yeah, the writer was like, "No, Spike's not dead. It's just how we ended the." And they're like, no, Spike is dead. And then he's like, they did it to such an extent that he was like, fine, done. Spike's dead. I don't care anymore. And then he walked away.
You know what's even worse about that? Remember, oh no, wait, you don't remember because you never watched Code Geass.
You're right, I didn't.
Do you care about spoilers?
I mean, are you talking about the very, very end?
Yeah.
Where he's dead?
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
So everyone was just like, no, Lelouch can't be dead because of the thing. And then, everyone at the studio or whatever was just like, no, Lelouch is dead. He died. And now we're getting a series that's literally called The Rebirth of Lelouch.
Oh my god.
Literally Code Geass Fukatsu no Lelouch. Or Lelouch no Fukatsu, whatever the fuck it's called.
I hope it's actually just an alternate timeline.
It's not... Doesn't even have Lelouch in it as far as I can tell.
Oh man, there's gonna be some guy pretending to be Zero, and then everybody's gonna be like,
well, there was already a guy pretending to be Zero at the end of the show.
I mean, yeah.
But anyway, we're getting super off track.
Yeah.
Help me out here.
Hajime henshins and fights the monster.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna have to take the reins for the first 10 episodes because I fucking don't remember shit.
Oh yeah, and oh yeah, I love this note. So Hajime shows up to protect the kids, or whatever, and he's doing it, and then he goes to get Amane away from the monster, and Kenzaki shows up. Kenzaki starts fighting the monster, and then when the monster goes to it, has vines wrapped around him, he goes to Henshin, and the giant hollow card breaks the vines, hits the undead, and the undead is suddenly through a building.
He didn't fly through the building's walls. He's just on the other side of a building.
Yeah, well, there's a what it is they're fighting, or they're at an undercrop that has a bunch of support pillars around them, and then when he did the henshin, obviously pushed the monster between all the pillars, and then Scott was like, that shouldn't have happened.
It was definitely the angle. It's really hard to verbally describe it, but if you were to watch it, you'd be like, yeah, that angle's a little off for that exact sequence of events.
We get a bit where Hajime is talking to the undead in the traditional ancient Babylonian language.
The ancient Babylonian language of a Babel fish.
Yes, and Scott was like, "What you said that they were speaking Grongi or whatever."
Did I?
Yeah, you did. You said they were speaking something stupid, it wasn't even a joke. And I was like, so are you telling me they're speaking a dead language?
Oh, no. What I had said was, this sounds like what they did with the Grongi language, which was some upside down, backwards, inverted Japanese or whatever. Because it has the similar sounding words or syllables and whatever of that kind of shit. And then Alan makes a dumb joke, and I said I'd slit his throat.
And I told him that he's sleep with one eye open, and I was like, oh no, I'm not concerned about that. I haven't given you my half of the rent yet.
It's kind of hard to want to kill somebody when they haven't given you the money that they need to give you.
Anyway, they meet up with the monster again, and Chalice beats it and gets the Thorn card.
I don't think we ever see him use it.
No, we haven't. Also, Hajime bleeds Nickelodeon Splat.
I hate you so much. I hate you for saying things like this. This is what I have to live with.
I had to put up with your Tatakai bullshit.
You still have to do it.
Yeah, I do. The only difference between us is I like to make relevant jokes to the series that we're watching.
They're yelling at Tatakai. That's good enough for me.
They did it for one episode.
That's good enough for me.
Alright, episode 3 opens up. We find out that the...
Oh god, we're only at episode 3? Kill me.
Yeah, we find out the chief is in a coma hooked up to a computer. We also get to see them make remarks about how monster attacks don't show up in the newspaper. Which we don't get any payoff for until like the end of the series. Hajime has flashbacks of like the reason why he's actually at the cafe, and that's because he happened to stumble upon the dying husband as he was dying, and he gave him a picture of the family.
And they're in like the Himalayas or something. The icy mountaintop.
Okay, so, Tachibana meets up with his
girlfriend,
his hot doctor girlfriend, and they're like, she goes, "Oh, what did they?" He goes, "Oh, I'm dying." She goes, "Well, there's nothing wrong with you." He's like, "Oh yeah, well they did experiments on me." And my note says Taco Bueno was experimented on.
I forgot we called him Taco Bueno for 2 seconds.
Oh man!
I think I said it because his name was Tachibana, and I was just like Taco Bueno. I'm sorry.
Hirose hacks into the computer system and gets a hologram of the chief, who tells them about like the 53 undead who fought each other 10,000 years ago, and humans said, "What's up?"
Humans accidentally got involved.
Humans won.
Because we're awesome.
The odds were stacked against them immensely. There was...
most definitely stacked.
And then 3 years ago, a bunch of scientists, including the chief, decide to unseal the undead. And one of them just happens to be Hirose's dad. Then Kenzaki shows up, or the undead tracker tracks an undead. Kenzaki shows up to find Tachibana already fighting it, and then Kenzaki beats it and gets the Thunder card. Hajime shows up, and they kind of fight each other, then they kind of all fuck off. When Hajime gets home, he walks into his room, and like the mom and daughter are there. And there's a bunch of like glitter flying around in his room, and then all the photos in his room burn up.
Exactly. Damn, he's got like annotated, gridded notes, color coded, and everything.
Oh man, I wish.
Have
it color coded for different riders so that we. Like a little fucking timeline that's there, and it's like,
you like write it in green for Langle and fucking I don't know, purple for Chalice.
I'd write it in black.
Whatever.
My note says that riders are falling apart, but it's basically just Kenzaki going like, "Oh, why are you doing this? Where's the chief?" And then Tachibana goes, "You don't understand anything," and then walks off without explaining anything.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love it so much that I actually hate it.
Yeah. This is actually the point where we find out that Hirose's father was involved in the research. And that maybe he unleashed the undead to save her dying mom from the cancers. Then we find out that Tachibana was actually, like, when he was in the room with all the bug pods, he was actually, like, it just so happens that was the moment, like, what we saw was the moment that he discovered it, and then we get a bit more where he's, like, trying to kill all the bugs. I wrote another note that said her father was mad suspect.
Oh yeah, we could tell he was definitely going to be a part of this whole bullshit.
Yeah. And then they're fighting a... I don't know which undead they fight, but Hajime gets the reflect card. That's all.
He still hasn't used it.
Yeah, there were a lot of cards. Dude, I I'm super suspicious that we're never gonna see the shuffle card ever used, even though it may be one of the most broken cards. Assuming it does what it says.
Shuffle?
Yeah, shuffle.
What do you think it does?
I think that when you pull out a card and then your opponent uses shuffle, it puts the card back in the deck and gives you another card.
See, I was going to say, but that would be silly because, like, why would the cards do things against other cards? And then I realized there's a card to turn cards back into monsters, and that can only ever happen if you're fighting people using cards. So, you're probably right.
See, the thing is that the cards were never originally a part of the undead fights. They just, when they lose, they get sealed in the cards. They were never actually meant to fight. The cards were never meant to be used to fight monsters.
Then what the fuck were they meant to be used to fight? Because they're part of the whole rider belt system. Putting them in the card, I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
For all we know, those cards that they're sealing the monsters in are different from the cards that they were originally sealed in.
For all we know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's for our card game anime. Bullshit.
Yeah. And Tachibana hands over the keys to the place where he's holding the chief, and when Hirose shows up to get the chief, he just erupts into white flames. And when Tachibana shows up, he goes, "Oh, Nani? Oh no!" And then I was super glad that he just didn't immediately blame Hirose for what happened.
What surprised me was that I don't remember if they did it right then and there, or if they didn't wait, or if it was Kenzaki. But they find, what is it, magnesium?
Yeah, Tachibana and Hirose on the next episode. Tachibana's like, "Oh, you went up in white flames. Obviously, this was a body double made of magnesium."
and I legit was just like, that's not what magnesium does. It was like, I don't think that's like a trick of the light or a body double. I don't know. It was... Magnesium was involved in stealing the chief away from being hooked up to that table.
Amane wants to go to the Cave of Echoes to hear her dad's voice, because there's rumors going around that you can hear dead people's voices there.
Oh, that's extra no bueno.
Yeah, and so Kenzaki and Kotaro say that they'll take her. Then they get to a blockade, and then she's like, "Oh, I want to go in there anyway." And so she goes in there, and then she's immediately attacked by an undead.
Yeah, lucky her.
Yeah, she gets hit by poison that gives her a fever. And when they bring her to the hospital, Hajime's like, "Oh, she was attacked by the monster and thus got poisoned. We have to get the antibody." And Kenzaki's like, "Wait, how do you know about the antibody?" Not thinking that anybody who's slightly more intelligent than not at all could figure out that if an animal carries poison, that they probably also carry an antibody.
Or at least you can develop the antibodies
from the poison.
From the poison.
Yeah.
But it's like, they just... when they say, "Oh, we need the antibody," like it's a piece of the monster.
Hey, it ended up being a piece of the monster. Just saying.
All right. I'm gonna super forgive this show for being really, really simplistic in that entire situation, because yes, you do need the venom from the creature to help develop an anti-venom, but they kind of just break a piece of its face off or whatever. And then that's all they needed.
Yeah, they needed to break a highly specific part of his face.
Yeah, it wasn't even the poison sac either. It was just a part of his face.
It was actually... See, what Scott's forgetting is there's the whole part where Hajime's analyzing his body looking for the antibody.
No, he was looking for a weak point.
No, he's looking for the antibody.
Why is he looking?
Yeah, he's like, "Where's the antibody?" And then he's like, finally finds it on its face.
You're right. Yeah, it was like the antibody is on its face. It's just like this.
Not okay. When I say face, I don't mean like a literal like in a humanoid creature like where our face would be. No, it has like a centipede face like right next to its head.
Yeah, it was weird.
This is when.
And I totally forget. Oh, and they also develop the antibody, administer it, and cure the little child all within an hour.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you know what? Sure, gotta move at a fast pace.
I don't mind it. It's like if it.
I'm just pointing it out. I'm just pointing it out.
Oh yeah, when they showed up to the scene, Tachibana was fighting the creature, and Kenzaki was trying to stop him, and then Tachibana's like, "But we have to fight and seal the undead," and then Kenzaki just doesn't explain to him that they need the antibody to cure the poison.
And he goes, "If you're gonna fight, I'm gonna fight you to stop you from fighting." And it's just like, guys, have we learned nothing? What's actually good about this is that Kenzaki was able to figure out who Hajime is because he told Hajime that they needed the antibody from the monster, and then conveniently this Chalice asshole got the antibody from the monster. So I really like how Kenzaki was able to figure that out, like, without 15 episodes of bullshit drawing it out.
Yeah.
It was a really, really nice change of pace.
Okay, now I have a note that I honestly can't figure out.
Go for it.
Attacking people in the frozen time.
I feel like that was something that you that you exaggerated. What was attacking people in the frozen time? Holy shit, I feel like that was a joke that we made, but I don't remember what that fucking was. Either way.
So we find out find out that the chief is alive.
What's the note before it?
It wasn't anything that would have helped us.
What was the note after it?
Chief at the train station.
Just tell me what the note is before it. Maybe it'll jog my memory.
I can't get it back because I already deleted it.
Oh, game over. Guess we'll never know.
No, but I'm telling you that the note wasn't gonna help us. It was something stupid.
So is attacking people in the frozen time.
Yeah, the Hirose spots the chief at the train station, and eventually the chief meets up with Tachibana's girlfriend. Yeah. And then he explains to her that it's not the thing that's killing him isn't anything that they did. It's just like it's a mental psychosis that's being amplified by the thing that they did.
Yeah, unfortunately both fortunately and unfortunately the rider system has like a feedback like emotional state amplifier. So whatever your emotional state is, it heightens it, which can help, as we see later on. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. It helps as we learn later on, where characters are filled with determination and they rise in fighting strength. But unfortunately for Tachibana, he developed a mental fear of death, and then because that's being amplified by the rider system is turning inward and killing him by that fear of death.
it all like yeah, it's all a thing that just stems from like he had fear in his heart and he just never got over it, and then it's starting a loop where it's like giving him visions of dying, so it's making him more afraid, and
Yeah,
he's not getting over it.
just a negative feedback loop.
Yeah. Kenzaki gets swatted.
Oh yeah, the police or the SWAT team shows up in order to capture him, Hirose, and Kotaro.
Yeah, but Kotaro and Hirose get away and
Somehow.
it's because Kenzaki's fighting all the SWAT guys.
No. Hirose pushes one down, and that guy is out.
Kenzaki's fighting the rest of them. There's like,
Yeah, all one at a time of them.
yeah. And then we get our introduction to flying businessman.
To our new plot. Oh man, you can tell what he's modeled after. He's got the long leather trench coat. He's got the sunblocker shades. He's wearing all black. He flies.
Yeah, Kenzaki's taken to a research facility.
The Matrix. I'm talking about the Matrix.
And when they put him in the facility, they go to do an MRI scan of him, and then my note says MRIs don't work like that because he's having a fuss, and MRIs can't catch anything if you're having a fuss.
Also metal.
They could have took the metal off him. I don't care.
Yeah, definitely. But whatever, maybe they had really good MRIs. Like, really, really good.
Then we get Hajime gets approached by this guy. God, I wish I remembered his name. I did at one point for like an entire 2 weeks. I remembered his name, and then I stopped.
Are you talking about the Matrix guy?
Yeah,
Not Agent Smith, Ikusa or something like that.
or whatever. He calls in Hajime. Hajime shows up, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, we need to do stuff."
Hajime, more like Castiel.
And then when Hajime shows up, he's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna work with me." And he goes, Hajime's like, "No, I don't wanna." And then he goes, "Oh, it'd be a real shame if that wife and child got blown up." Ah ha ha! And then he goes, "All I have to do is flip this switch." Puts a key inside of a switch, and then he walks away from it. And me and Scott are like, "Hajime, you could just take the key right now. He wouldn't be able to do anything."
Literally, no. Not only does he literally do that, not only does he walk away from it, he puts the key into the switch that would murderize the wife and child. Then he walks and sits down at a desk where Hajime is now physically in between this guy and the key. And because he's asking Hajime to join up with him, we can only assume that Hajime is of equivalent power to this man, which we find out is about the case. He is of equivalent power to this man, give or take some power levels.
And this is the episode that we get power levels.
Yeah, there's power levels here. We have all 758 mega dicks. So yeah, Hajime has got to be at least as powerful as this asshole. So it's like, Hajime, just break it. Just break it. It's right behind you. But no.
All you have to do is take the key. There's nothing you can do. Kotaro and Hirose call Tachibana and ask him to help them with getting Kenzaki back. And Kotaro has a speech about, like, "Oh, it doesn't matter if you're afraid. You just gotta live life to the fullest."
Yeah.
Kotaro is afraid of a lot of things.
Kotaro is a fucking putz. You know what we also forget about? Him and Kenzaki having a super deep bonding moment 2 days after they met. That was I don't trust anyone. Trusting people has never gotten me anywhere. And we never see that side of Kenzaki ever again.
So anyway, they throw an undead at Kenzaki to analyze his
Megadix level.
his fusion ratings.
Right, his Megadix level.
And they're like, "Oh, he's got like 500." And then fucking Hajime starts freaking out because of like, "Oh, there's a battle going on. Now I have to participate."
No. Before that, Hajime looks out the window, and then Kenzaki sees Hajime in the window. So he goes, "He's a part of this. He's a part of this," and he starts getting angry. So then his fusion, his Megadix level, his fusion level starts shooting up. And they're like, "Sir, it's rising up. It's 700 fusihertz."
Gigafusions. It's 700 gigafusions.
700 gigafusions.
Anyway,
all Potaras of them.
Hajime breaks open the wall and jumps down to fight, and then Hirose is like, "Oh, I got him on the scanner. There's Kenzaki and 3 undead with him."
Yeah, he's surrounded by undead on all sides.
Yeah, and like this would be the actual reveal that Hajime is probably an undead.
Most definitely an undead.
Yeah. And so Tachibana shows up, breaks open the wall, and then there's this huge ass fucking monster mash going on.
And they point out that Garen's fusion level is going down from his 500 to like 450 before he gets his ass whooped by Chalice, maybe? I forget who was fighting.
No, it's Blade's fighting Chalice, and it's Tachibana's fighting the monster, and then Tachibana starts getting his ass kicked, and so Kenzaki like kicks Hajime away, and then he uses his lightning and his kick card to do lightning blast and seals the undead.
That's right, and then that's how he gets whatever card he got there.
I honestly didn't write that down. I'm a little disappointed.
I don't think we were able to see it.
You know what? Maybe he didn't actually seal the undead. I don't know.
I feel like he did though.
Then we get then Mr. Smith decides to blow up the building, and then they get like a 9-minute counter till explosion.
And then he also activates the bomb to kill the wife and child.
Yes, which also goes off in 9 minutes. Hajime has just enough time to drive all the way across the country to get there.
At the same time
the time that it takes for Kenzaki, the chief, and the chief showed up, whatever, and Tachibana to get out of the building is the same time it took for Hajime to drive all the way back to the cafe and get rid of the bomb.
And throw the bomb out the window. By the way, he throws the bomb out the window, it explodes, blows up all the windows, and makes, all the ruckus and all that stuff. So when the police show up, they're like, "Hey, we heard a bomb went off in this area. Do you know anything about that?" And they go,
"Nope."
No. Oh,
like,
thank you. Sorry for bothering you. Thank you for your time. And I go,
"What?"
I was like, they couldn't possibly. I mean, like, maybe there's no way they knew that the bomb was meant for this place, or the bomb had.
There's no way they could have actually have known unless somebody was staring at Hajime throwing the bomb out the window, which is apparently the case.
But my defense against that is like, I mean, we don't see any damage to the cafe, even though by all rights there should be damage to the cafe. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Hajime got rid of the bomb and saved the wife and kids, and they were able to throw off police suspicion because
it was very tiny. He threw it really far away, and it broke all the windows. That was it.
Yeah, but I don't know. My problem with that is like, if the coffee shop was the only place with its windows broken, then they should have extra been suspected of them. But it doesn't matter.
You can see other buildings outside the window. It's whatever.
With broken windows?
No. They're not going to emphasize those other buildings. No, like... We're going over a very minor nitpick
That's what I'm saying.
that they weren't thinking about during the show.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, so Tachibana decides after they get out of the explosion that he wants to take his girlfriend out on date night. And while they're out, people are being attacked by a zebra that just spins around them and kills them.
It's not just that he wants to take her out on date night. He's decided that he's going to give up fighting.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to die. That's the important part.
Yeah. Then there's a zebra that spins around people and kills them. And then Kenzaki, on his way to, or no, not even on his way. He calls out Hajime, and then they're talking, and then they henshin to fight each other. Blade versus Chalice, the Revengeaning.
The Revengeancing, gotcha. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, blah blah blah.
Yeah. They have a really cool bit where they both use elemental cards on their motorcycles and then like try to run into each other.
Oh yeah. They did?
They did.
Oh yeah. They did.
And then Tachibana decides to henshin and fight the zebra undead. Kenzaki shows up, helps him out.
Because Kenzaki was there.
And then the zebra kind of disappears and fucks off.
Oh, no. It uses its special Kage Bunshin no Jutsu to leave a body double to die.
Yes.
And that's what happened.
Then he disappears from the radar, and they're like, that's weird. There should be a body for us to capture the card, and the undead signal went away. And then Scott was like, what? And I go, oh, you'd understand if you knew what the card was. It's a very highly specific undead.
Yeah.
Then we get the chief explaining why Kamen Riders exist. Hajime runs away from the cafe because of all the danger that he's put the family in. He meets up with a homeless guitar player. And he asks that guy, like, oh, what is sadness? I don't understand human emotions. Tachibana gets into a fight with Neo Jack Peacock. That's what my note says.
Neo Jack Peacock.
Yeah. He gets in a fight with the Matrix Undead, and the Matrix Undead is a peacock. And the reason why it's Neo Jack Peacock is, like, obviously the joke. Jack, because I know that he's a category Jack card, and then he's a peacock.
Yes.
Hajime is talking more with the homeless guy, and he goes like, what do you see when you're looking at all the city? And he goes, I want to destroy it all! And then his buddy's like, yeah, I kind of want to destroy it all too. Because if the world doesn't let me fit into it, I'm going to make it so that I fit. The peacock beats Tachibana and shoves him in a giant tub of stuff.
Of that dank kush. Giant tub.
Look, there's like so many drug references in this one show. I would appreciate it if you picked one and then went with that one and didn't go over drugs the entire show.
Hey, wait. No. Okay, first of all, you're the one who called it dank kush. Second of all, I consistently call it the cocaines. I consistently refer to the rider belt addictions portrayed very, very often as cocaine.
Only one character has rider belt addiction. The other one,
literally, we're about to talk about Tachibana and his need to have a fucking fight every 5 minutes.
That's only because
of the Dank Kush.
He's high on the Dank Kush.
So why are you telling me to be consistent about the drugs when I always call it cocaine?
No, because I want you to like stick with like one addiction arc and not just like every addiction arc go like cocaine.
But it's all cocaine.
All right, Tachibana can now fight. Thanks to all the kush that he fucking bathed in.
Thanks to bathing in that green shit.
Yeah, he beats the zebra and gets the Gemini card. Hajime sends the homeless guy to go make sure the family's all right, and they sell him a $1 plate of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Then we find out that because Tachibana is smoking all the time, that he's actually now affected by mind control.
All right. So the reason the way they find that out is because when Tachibana is talking to his girlfriend, she picks up a piece of the magic plant that they bathed him in, and she was just like, this thing looks kind of weird.
Oh, we haven't gotten that reveal yet.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, that she sends it to the lab, and it takes several episodes for it to come back.
Oh wow, yeah, she definitely does that though. Oh man, I definitely tripped out when I heard about this.
We get a Garen versus Blade fight.
Tatakai.
Yeah. The homeless guy. We find out that the reason the homeless guy is homeless is because he's in a fight with his dad about like whether or not his guitar has passion.
Yeah,
And he says, like, oh, my dad's music has no passion, so I don't want to be on his record.
His dad's a soulless corporate shill.
But then later we find out that's not the case. Hajime fights an undead, and his homeless buddy sees it and goes, oh, it's a Kamen Rider. This is the greatest, 'cause... Oh man, it's entirely inconsistent as to who knows what a Kamen Rider is or not. And Hajime fends off from the undead, and then Tachibana's walking down in a daze, trying to figure out trying to like think about what's happening to Tachibana. And then she notices that there's an undead eating a human by rubbing its mask on their body, and
she was definitely lost in thought, like super hard.
Kinzaki shows up and beats it and gets the mock card.
Ah, yes, the Mach card.
Yeah.
The slowest card of all.
Hajime's homeless buddy asks him if he wants to go sailing with him, thus starting Hajime and Jin's excellent adventure.
You know, it's... Oh, no. Hold on, wait. Have we gotten to the part where this kid is the dumbest shit ever? Couldn't add 2 and 2?
Which kid?
Jin. I call him kid, but...
Yeah, I didn't say things that didn't really matter.
Oh, no. I need to point this out. This is the greatest scene ever. Okay, so Jin sees Chalice fighting an undead, and he sees it and he goes, "Holy shit, it's a real fight!" And then like Chalice isn't able to kill the monster, so the monster escapes. And in the fight, the monster kind of like got knocked back against the railing that that Jin is hiding under. So he kind of like ducks down for a little bit, and then when he comes back up, he just sees Hajime standing there looking off into the distance, all dramatic, like,
Aniki, did you see that Kamen Rider?
Yo, Aniki, did you see that Kamen Rider or that monster? Where could they have possibly gone? And I go, what? Like, what? It blew my goddamn mind.
Yes, I can't wait till we get to this note at the end of this next episode. Okay, so we find out that there is now, or the fucking spider undead is active, and he is a category ace. So Neo Jack Peacock wants to get in there because he wants to make the ultimate rider. And so he's sending Tachibana off to go like get the spider every time he shows up. Then we get Amane looking for Hajime. And as she's like she's looking around and stuff, then Hajime and Jin are fixing up a boat to set sail to play guitar in the middle of the ocean. That's literally the goal. They just want to play guitar in the middle of the ocean.
For everybody.
And then once they're satisfied, they'll come back, and then what's his face decides he'll make it big. But then like the father shows up and says, "Oh, my son is extremely talented. I just and I want him to sign with my record or with my record label because he's just as good as I was when I was a kid. The only thing is, though, my son just thinks that this is a handout, basically. Doesn't want to sign with my record." And so then he tries to pay Hajime to go away, because he's like, Hajime's influence on him is toxic. Somehow. And then Hajime's like, "I don't care about money," and rips up the check. Because he doesn't care about anything.
Nope, he's a soulless monster. Yes.
Then the monster shows up, or this fucking undead shows up, and he attacks this like mother-daughter combo, and then Hajime goes to save them. Henshins beats up the monster, and then when he walks up in his rider form, asking if they're all right, but they're scared of him. And I got another note that says Tachibana on that dank kush.
See, you were the one who made the dank kush joke.
I did. I was just like, my problem is that you're saying that everybody has addictions. That's what it is.
Because they do!
There's only 2 of them! And one of them was only for so many episodes.
Then that's the problem!
Oh, man.
They're the ones with the addictions! I'm just pointing it out.
So then, what's his fucking face? Jin now knows that Hajime's a Kamen Rider. So he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And then the monster shows up to attack Hajime on the boat. And the boat is now on fire.
And now everything is on fire. Everything is ruined.
And then Hajime beats the monster and gets the drill card.
Drill.
And Jin sees him bleeding, and he goes, "So you're not really human. So you were right, or what you said was true. You're not really human. You're a monster." And he goes, "Yeah.
I was trying to tell you."
Yeah. By the way, my note says, "Aniki, why is your blood the ooze from Nick?"
Says he makes relevant jokes. Talks about fucking Nick's Kids' Choice Awards 2004.
Hey, it's relevant for the TV shows we're watching. Oh, they were out around the same time.
You're right. All I got was fucking.
All you got is, oh, hey, you should probably fight, bro. And then when they get back to the boat's on fire, and Jin's like, no, Aniki, I don't trust you anymore.
It's all your fault. You were the one that was here, and the monster was after you, kind of, sort of, maybe. If it wasn't for you, my boathouse wouldn't have been on fire, and I could have shown the world on the ocean my guitar skills.
Yeah. Now we're getting into the scavenger hunt for the spider monster.
The good shit.
Fucking Kotaro. Like I get, there's a conversation happening. I don't remember exactly how the conversation goes. But Kotaro is complaining that girls don't like him, and then Kenzaki replies with, "Don't worry, all the world's milk loves you."
They were talking about it's because that's the conversation where Tachibana's girlfriend comes and tells them about the ancient leaf.
Oh yeah.
The ancient leaf. Okay. So to explain the ancient leaf, that plant that she had found on Tachibana in order to and sent off to a lab to have they found out that it's an ancient leaf from 10,000 years ago that has hypnotic properties instilled in it that can make people what was it again? That
I don't know. I just said mind control.
Yeah, I don't know. It was something. It wasn't something like that. And for whatever reason, I was just like, how do they even know that from that kind of analysis? But whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, they know that he's on some. He's on that good shit, and he needs to not be on that good shit in order to be a real person, a real boy again. And then that's when Kotaro is just like, oh, I'm jealous he has such a nice girlfriend like that. I wish I had one, but no girl seems to like me for whatever reason. And then Kenzaki says that.
We also get Kenzaki talking with Kotaro and Hirose about Hajime being an undead. This all stems from Kotaro trying to tell his family not to bother with Hajime, and they're not listening. And then
they're extra not about that. They love Hajime. They're like, yeah. Man, he is great.
And fucking
extra on that day.
Kotaro is all like, oh man, no, it's like we can't trust, or all the undead can't be trusted. None of them. They're all monsters. They all want to kill us. Somebody gets a beat card. I don't know who, and I don't know what the monster they fight is. It just says beat get.
Yeah, Alan likes to keep track of the cards they get, even though we'll only see half of them.
Yeah. We get a thing where I guess I know the context of this. I just don't remember the details. It says first step toward understanding, and what it is Kenzaki and Hajime are having a conversation about how Hajime should go home, and so that because Kenzaki's
Kenzaki says, hey, they already think that they're your weak point, and they're going to go after them. But if you're there, then they'll be safer than if you weren't there.
Yeah.
Even though they'll still be attacked. They were going to be attacked anyway. He's like, let's be honest about this. So I really like how Kenzaki, even though he knows that Hajime is an undead, as a thing, he was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna immediately turn him away, even though he did attack me and say that I was his enemy. I'm just going to believe in the fact that he is protecting a small human child.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
We also get that Tachibana is now over the mind control thing. He's
sort of, kind of, yeah.
He's over the mind control thing now, and but he's still like, he still has the thing that's happening to him where he's like,
The visions of death.
yes, but he's not. But he holds it together long enough to kick the shit out of the peacock, and then just be like, and then the peacock runs away.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that. The peacock isn't dead, so he's able to be an asshole.
And it's also around this fight that Tachibana is talking to his girlfriend, and she goes, "Why do you do all this?" And he goes, "Because I want to be a firework. I want to get in it. I want to be in the sky for everybody to see, all bloomed out and special and bright and everything." And then his girlfriend's like, "Oh, you should just be like a road flower, one that lasts forever, and only the people who want to see you will see you." And then my note says Kamen Riders can't love yet because immediately after Tachibana fights the peacock guy goes to murder his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, I knew she was dead. When I figured out that it wasn't a ship tease that they were doing, like they were in a relationship, I was like, oh, she's extra dead. No.
There's an undead that keeps like sending out taunts toward Hajime, saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna murder that family. You should fight me. I'm gonna murder that family."
Tata guy.
Then the next episode opens up with Hajime, or not. I mean, not Hajime. Tachibana meeting up, or Tachibana meeting up with the peacock guy, and when he does, he's like all like, first he discovers his girlfriend. His girlfriend's dead, and then later he's at Kotaro's house in a suit and tie. Then he goes to the facility where the peacock guy is at, and my note basically says, shoots Peacock in the face, because they did this really cool thing where he turns into Garen and then shoots the Peacock guy in the face, and then you can see his undead face under his human face.
Yeah, it was really cool. Garen gets a lot of cool moments.
And then he starts fighting the Peacock guy. Oh no, wait. This is when he's fighting him out in the field.
Yep.
Yeah, my bad. And my note says, from funeral to fight.
Yeah. More in the death of your girlfriend, go kill her.
Yeah, this time Tachibana's not dying, because he experienced despair. He is now immune to fear or whatever, and then he gets to win the day.
Yeah, his fuchsia hertz level starts rising, and now he doesn't die when he transforms.
Then he does a fucking shoryuken on the peacock guy.
Fire,
goes in for a
chop.
the fucking peacock guy goes in for a slash, and then he just
reversal DPs him.
Yeah.
He just reversal DPs him and uses those invuln frames to beat him up.
And then the peacock guy runs away to his other research facility where he's captured a whole bunch of candidates for the new rider belt.
Yep, gotta make the ultimate rider belt. The emperor belt.
And
or whatever.
Oh, darn it. I'm trying to think, because he had to have stolen the category ace card. Oh, I remember what it was. The first time so Tachibana beats the spider and seals it. And then immediately after that, he starts like getting over the mind control, and then the peacock guy shows up, beats him up, and steals the card. And then it's after that Tachibana comes back and beats him up.
Because then he killed. Because then after it was after that he kills his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Then he.
And it turns out that the peacock guy had the chief mind control, helping him make a new belt. And then we get this kid who.
This kid.
Yeah, we get this kid.
Mootski.
Who was targeted by both the spider undead and another undead, in an attempt to find a
candidate to hold
the
his
spider
power.
undead is looking for a candidate to hold his power, and then the lion undead went to kill him because he doesn't want the spider undead to get more power. And Kenzaki saves him, and then now he's back, and they're like, oh, why don't we have him try to use the belt? Tries to use it, and it fucking doesn't work. And they're like, oh, we'll drop him off, erase his memory, and go look for more candidates. Oh, man.
And it's because of that he misses his date with his girlfriend.
Oh, man, it's the worst. When you're trying to live in a slice of life and then you just get picked up in a superhero store.
When you get picked up and experimented on, when you're trying to have your slice of life. And then it's like, and then his girlfriend is just like, I can't believe you ditched me. He's just like, I literally woke up in an alley with 10 other people. I have no idea what's happening. And she's just like,
you're lying.
You're lying. Sure you did.
Are
10
you,
other
how
people.
are you not? It's like, are you sure you're not cheating on me?
Are you sure? And he's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Soon we come to learn about this kid's dark and tragic past. How he was born in the darkness.
Yeah, he was born in the darkness, alright.
You know, he really only says that once, and it's...
No, he doesn't even say it. It's his girlfriend who says it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we like to clown him on it. And Alan has told me what it is. We'll get to it when we get to it.
We'll get to it when it actually happens.
Yeah. And it's like, so I clown on him, but he doesn't ever say it, really. It's his girlfriend who says that's something that he has said in the past.
Yeah. So anyway, they get, or the...
Who is they this time?
The Rider group. Or no. The Rider group finds the chief and the fucking peacock guy picking up more candidates. And all the scientists start to run off, and Tachibana's like, Kenzaki, you go get the chief, I'll deal with this guy. And Tachibana beats him, gets the fusion card, and because he's beaten, he's no longer mind controlling anybody, and Kenzaki gets the chief back. And now they just also happen to have a new belt and category ace card.
Yeah, it's great, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not so great when we actually get into it.
Yeah. We're actually getting really close to it too. Tachibana turns it, or after all this, Tachibana turns in the Garen belt because he doesn't want to be Garen anymore.
And then the chief goes to America to find whatever.
Yeah.
It's not really America. I think it was in like Indonesia or some shit.
Say he's going to America because the thing that they had picked up from Indonesia was shipped to America.
Oh no, I thought the America thing was like a joke that we made all the time.
No, he's actually going to America.
The one time he's going to America and I didn't know he was going to America.
Yeah, he's the tablet that led them to discovering the undead and the cards is in America, and so he's going to go look at it again.
The far off land of Seattle.
Hajime goes on like a little lunch date with Amane. My note says children are pure. I don't know why.
Something. The only way to melt this asshole's cold ass heart.
Then, an undead shows up. Hajime fights it, or Hajime and Kenzaki are fighting it, and then the fight leads into a not abandoned cafe.
Oh yeah,
where Kenzaki's trying to protect all the people, and Hajime doesn't care.
Yeah, Hajime doesn't give a shit at all.
Yeah, Hajime beats it and gets the float card. And then my note says Langle's too slow. Fucking.
What does it say? Langle is too slow?
Yeah, what it is
no.
I get that joke. Earlier in the episode, fucking Kotaro gets hypnotized by the spider undead card to try to henshin with it, and when he tries to do it, the card or the belt disappears in a flash of lightning, and then it ends up in the hands of Mitsuki, the basketball kid.
I thought it was Mutsuki.
Mutsuki, whatever. And then I remember now. I remember the joke now. Then
yes,
when they're fighting the undead, or when Kenzaki and Hajime are fighting the undead, Mutsuki shows up in Langle form.
Yeah, he's now henshined into Langle.
And then, his showing up is
changes the weather.
Changes it so that the sky is pitch black and then not. And then he runs up and beats up Kenzaki and Hajime by running at super speeds. And the reason why that this note says Langle is too slow is because I am a huge fan of The Flash. And having watched the
by the way, when he says the Flash, he means the comic book character, the Flash.
Having seen, knowing about things that comic book Flash has done, and having seen the CW TV show, my reply is, anytime, or 90% of the time when fucking the Flash gets hit by something, my immediate thought process was he had all the time in the world to see that coming. How did he get hit by that? Oh my god, I've never seen such a fast character be too slow.
He's too slow. So when we see Langle moving at super speeds, and we know for a fact that he's never going to move that fast again, we're just going to forever say Langle is too slow.
Yeah.
I remember that joke specifically.
And it just so happens that the undead that they're fighting turns out to be the perfect card to fucking just mess with the pacing of the show. And that is the remote card, which Langle gets. And this is the best card.
The shuffle card. Even though he hasn't used it yet. He's used that
Hajime and Kenzaki both go to use cards. And, by the way, Hajime was about to use Shuffle. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
He's about to use Shuffle.
No, counter.
No, counter. Fucking Lango uses remote card, and the remote card is busted because it turns every other card that your opponent's about to use back into a monster form.
And that gets kind of bad later for Blade.
And one of the monsters is the shuffle, or the shuffle monster card, which Mutsuki beats up and gets the shuffle card. So now he has it. And then my note says Mutsuki knows what a Kamen Rider is.
Yep. It's us talking about that kind of deal.
Yeah,
Which
we get to see Mutsuki playing basketball now. He's got more ups than usual now.
He's in the zone. He's meteor jamming. He's direct drive zoning. All that good stuff.
Then we get the introduction of a character named Kiryu, who was
the Dragon of Dojima. Go on.
The dragon. It turns out that the last candidate to be Garen before Tachibana became it was the young Dragon of Dojima.
No, for some reason I thought you were gonna say the last candidate for the Dragon of Dojima title. But every time I look at Kiryu, not only do I think of Kiryu, he looks like a Yakuza character.
Yeah,
he's just got that look.
Anyway, after Kenzaki talks with Mitsuki or Mutsuki, whatever, Mutsuki or they come across an undead and Mutsuki henshins to fight the undead. And when Kenzaki confronts him about henshining to fight the undead, even though he told him not to, he goes, "I'm not Mutsuki, I'm Langle." And then they get into a fight. Kenzaki pulls out all of his finisher cards, and Mutsuki remotes them. So now Kenzaki has no finisher cards.
Yeah, it literally, he's about to do his Lightning Sonic, and it's just, oh, no, they're all monsters again. Have fun with nothing but tackle attack. Should have used an elixir.
So then when Mutsuki de-henshins, Kenzaki tells him that he needs to fucking hand over the belt because it's not good. It's evil. Then we get Tachibana. We get Tachibana hanging out with Kiryu, and Kiryu's like, "Oh, this is justice or whatever," and like slowly and menacingly walks toward this one criminal, and then does a thing where he picks him up and presses a button on his belt, and then it sends a signal to his hand to electrocute him because he has a robot hand.
Yeah, you know what?
A badly CG'd robot hand.
Super bad. You know, as you were saying that, I was like, that's how he was tasering people, because it didn't, like, click when he showed off his robot hand.
It was until I was saying it right now.
Yes. Okay. So before we know he has a robot hand, he's picking up people in his hand and holding them up in, like, a chokehold, single-handedly, and he presses the button on his belt. And he's tasering them, and I go, "How the fuck is he tasering him with that?"
It's not the best point. The best part of all of this is that we have seen his robot hand, and Scott still hadn't figured it out.
I wasn't honestly. I was not using all of my brain power. I was using literally 0% of my brain power, and because all right. First of all, once that scene happens, that second time where he's with the child kidnapper. Like, once that is, he never uses it again, and I completely forgot about it. Also, I'd like to point out that no attention is ever drawn to his mechanical hand after he shows it off. So, literally, he has those attributes as a part of him, and as a part of his initial introduction and interactions with criminals and stuff, and then we never talk about them ever again.
I mean, we don't need to, honestly.
I mean, we don't need to, but still, I just fucking forgot.
But anyway, Kenzaki, or they get the belt back from Mutsuki.
Unfortunately, the belt ain't having that shit.
They get the belt back from Mutsuki. Mutsuki gets roid rages.
He's got to get his fix.
And then the belt just appears before him again. It's funny because when they put the belt on the table, they look away from it, have a talk, and they turn back around, and then there's a smoke. There's a little thing of smoke where the belt used to be, and it's not there.
Again, the belt ain't having that. It wants to be worn by Mutsuki. And not worn.
Anyway, Mutsuki gets the belt back, and eventually they all converge on the monsters that Mutsuki's, or all the finishing monsters that were released when he was Langle. And Mutsuki's like, "Oh, it's my time to shine, to make up for what I did, or make up for the terrible thing I did." Henshins. Hajime shows up, and Kenzaki shows up. They're all henshin, having a giant battle royale. And then Mutsuki gets beat up by Hajime, and the belt flies off. And Kiryu shows up. Kiryu picks up the Langle belt and uses it. And as soon as he uses it, not because he's not a stupid kid, he knows how to control all the monsters that are remoted.
Get it? Remote control?
Yeah. And, so now Kiryu is Langle.
Now Kiryu is an asshole. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, it begs the question of, like, at that point, how much of Kiryu is in control and how much of it is the belt? Because, like, when Mutsuki...
I definitely think that Kiryu's in more control than Mutsuki, because he has...
No. I was talking about who's more in control, the belt or Kiryu. With Mutsuki in the belt's definitely the one doing all the asshole shit.
Yeah, because he calls himself Langle.
Well, also, Mutsuki is not a fucking dick. Usually.
Oh yeah, my note says Kiryu's not a good guy because he beats up all the other riders. He goes on to tell Tachibana that he needs to fight as Garen.
Tatakai.
And later, when Tachibana meets up with him, he's like, he goes, you need to use the Langle belt, or the Langle belt for justice. And then Langle's like, fucking Kiryu's like,
Justice means nothing. It's all about power.
Yeah. The Langle belt has so much power that justice doesn't mean anything.
It has so much powerful power that my power over trumps the justice.
Yep.
No more justice system, only power systems.
Mutsuki steals the Garen belt.
He breaks into their house, steals the Garen belt, and as he's jumping out of a window, the window falls shut and then becomes impossible to open by Hirose.
She doesn't even try that hard to open it. She tries to open it like a little bit more than not at all, and then runs out the front door.
It becomes impossible for Hirose to open, and then suddenly Mutsuki is gone with the belt.
Yeah. Mutsuki tries to trade the Garen belt back for the Langle belt, but the Kiryu doesn't.
Oh, wait. I'd like to point out. I mean, like, alright, do you know how Mutsuki knew where Kiryu was? Like, if that was something they said, I totally wasn't paying attention, and I'll admit it.
How he figured out where he was?
Yeah, because remember, he's running, because, alright, so what happened was Kiryu, as Langle, literally plants himself on, like, a bridge or or like, in front of
an
bridge. Overpass, whatever. He plants himself right there, and he says, "Come to me, Tachibana," essentially. And I'm like, and then, was it Hajime and Kenzaki, or was it? No, it was Tachibana and Kenzaki. Tachibana and Kenzaki chase Mutsuki, who has the Garen belt, and then they happen to chase him to where Langle is. Do you remember how that worked, or if that was just like a happy coincidence?
I'll just pin it on Mutsuki has a connection with the belt.
Oh, and you know what? You know what I'm forgetting? I was like, how is he gonna get Tachibana to fight him? And he goes, oh yeah, he sicks the monsters on people, and they pick it up with the undead radar.
Yeah,
and that's how they know where he is. And then somehow. Mutsuki just happens to be there.
Yeah, he's got a connection with the belt, so he just goes to get it. So he wants to trade the Garen belt for the Lango belt, but Kiryu doesn't. Kiryu doesn't want.
He says there's only one person in this world who's qualified to be Garen, and it's not me. And I'm like, that's an interesting thing to say. Not the fact that he has a strictly more powerful belt. It's the fact that he acknowledges that only Tachibana can be Garen.
Yeah.
It was just an interesting point.
And so Kenzaki and Tachibana show up, and Kenzaki goes to fight all the monsters.
And Langle.
And no, he's just fighting Langle. All the monsters are just sitting up on the overpass. Yeah. And then Tachibana's like has a flashback of like talking to Kiryu, and Kiryu's like all like, "Man, I failed to be Garen, but I know that you can do it. I have faith in you. You're the guy. I placed all my trust in you." And then Tachibana's like, "I'm gonna do it." Then we get the best action sequence of him dodging monsters, picking up the belt, and henshining.
Henshining in midair. Like, he jumps off of the overpass because Blade and Langle have jumped down onto the train tracks below. And in midair, he activates the belt. And as he's falling, the giant hologram card flies into the air and he falls through it and he henshins into it. It was really cool.
He starts fighting Kiryu and he's like got the upper hand.
He's whooping his ass.
Yeah, he's beating him, and then like he pulls out his cards to do his
burning divide finisher, which I haven't gotten into, but it's probably my favorite finisher so far.
And he's like, he goes to like when he pulls out the cards, Kiryu like goes to pull out the remote card, and then Tachibana shoots him as he pulls out the card.
Yeah, he beats him to the punch and shoots the remote card out of his hands. So what the burning divide is it's a flaming moonsault kick, but with the power of the Gemini card that he got from the zebra earlier, he splits into a second Garen, and they both do the jumping moonsault fire kick.
Yes, his finisher has a built-in feint.
Yeah, one of them is fake, and the other... No, I think they're both real.
No, they're fake.
They're both real.
They're fake.
One of them's fake?
Yeah, one of them's fake. Because like they showed it off the first time he does it when it's some like they do it like twice. When somebody goes to attack him while he's doing it, it disappears.
Oh, well, whatever. It's still super cool.
Yeah,
they always attack the wrong one.
Anyway, Kiryu gets knocked off into the train station and dehensions, and Mutsuki shows up, grabs the Lango belt, and then now he gets his henshin pose.
It's the chunibyoest thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
Not ever seen, but it's super chuny.
Yeah, and then he henshins, and then now he can use the actual control part of remote, and then he sicks the monsters on Kiryu.
Yeah, they rub their masks on him and mask him alive.
Yes, and then they Tachibana and Kenzaki fight the monsters and get all their cards back.
Yeah, and Kenzaki gets all of his finishers back.
Yeah.
In the meantime, while that was happening, after Kiryu became Langle, he whooped Hajime's ass, and now Hajime is having a crisis of faith where he's like, because the Langle belt was just like, you've become weak. Developing human emotions has made you frail, Chalice, or whatever.
That was before that.
No, he was beating his face in, or is that?
No, it's the first time they fought, and that's the reason why Hajime beats up Mutsuki the second time. That's the reason why Mutsuki gets the belt knocked off, is because Hajime is like,
oh yeah.
So now we get Kenzaki and Tachibana are trying to get the belt back from Mutsuki. First Kenzaki is like, oh, by the way, we've already blown past the Born in Darkness bullshit.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what it is yet. Well, in the you have told me what it is,
But the TV show hasn't told us what it is.
yeah, but the show has not revealed what the whole. He said he was born in darkness or whatever. Like, I don't know. This kid has some problems. Alan says he should be over them. I kind of disagree.
Anyway, so then we get Kenzaki tries to get the Lego thing back, but then Mutsuki runs off, and his girlfriend's trying to ask Kenzaki what's going on, and Kenzaki's like, "Oh, I can't tell you," blah blah blah, and then Tachibana comes across Mutsuki, and he like fucking like knocks, or he like reaches over to Mutsuki and then pulls out the Lego belt from under where Mutsuki was hiding it, and he's like, "So you did have it," and then Mutsuki takes it back, and then he runs away, and Tachibana watches him run away.
He just fucks off.
Yep.
You know why? It's because he didn't henshin. He just didn't henshin. Ultimate defense.
And then we get this undead attacking some random passerby, and then the best person walks in. It's this dude who's dressed like really fucking jazzy, and then he's like making all sorts of howls, going like, "Woo!"
Yeah, he's fucking Ric Flair up in here, and
and then the undead goes to attack him, and he goes, "Hey man, you don't want to do this. I'm only here to fight the Kamen Riders." And then he breathes in that undead's direction, and the undead gets blasted away.
So what was really funny is the monster was attacking people, and then we see the guy, like, jazzing out through the woods, and I go, see, why can't this guy be a Kamen Rider? And then all of a sudden he's a fucking category whatever.
He's a jack.
He's a category jack. It was great.
Oh man.
And then that's when we find out, a little later, that, what is it? Kotaro, what was Kotaro doing? I don't know.
Kotaro was just like driving his cycle over a bridge, and then he sees somebody who's with
car troubles.
Yeah.
So he goes in and he goes to help them, and it's a woman.
He's hitting it off really well
somehow. One of the first things he says is, "Wow, you smell really nice." Just like,
yeah.
just like, I mean, like, there's
real creeper level shit. It's like,
yeah, like there's a way to say that without saying that.
And then Hajime gets a flash of like this guy who's watching Kotaro flirt with this girl. Then he shows up to the same bridge and they're gone. And then he has visions of like the past of what they were doing there.
And I was like, no. He knows for a fact what happened there. It's not even like he made a guess. Like, he turns around and he's just like, that guy was parked there and Kotaro was being tempted by this woman and her womanly wiles. And I go, since when could Hajime see into the past?
I don't know. This is the only thing that I don't know.
Like if that had come up at any point beforehand and I wasn't paying attention, that's on me. But no, this is brand new abilities I ain't never seen before.
The only possible explanation is that, like, when he did the initial sensing, he actually saw that, so then when he showed up to the bridge, that's when he was like, oh, this is where they were at. The guy was over there and the girl was over there. And
I don't think that's what happened.
Anyway, so Kotaro introduces this girl to the gang.
He calls them freeloaders.
Yeah, And then they go off to have a date, and
So right before they leave, he was just like, "Hey, I want to show you the things I've been writing because I'm a news writer, journal writer, freelancer, or whatever."
Yeah.
So he shows her the computer, but that computer with all of his writings on it is also the same computer that runs the Undead Searcher.
She broke the Undead Searcher.
She hackinged into the computer and broke everything.
Yeah. And then after they leave, Hirose realizes that that she broke the computer or whatever. And then Kenzaki runs off, and he crosses paths with Hajime, and Hajime lets Kenzaki know that there's undead shenanigans afoot with that girl.
With targeting Kotaro. And
Yeah.
that's where we are now.
And Kenzaki shows up to the date site, and before he can interrupt it, he gets attacked by the rocker undead guy.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he'd bust out like drunken drunken fighting.
Yeah, he blows an air blast from his mouth at Kenzaki, and then Kenzaki henshins.
Yeah. So far, Blade's all right. Like it's fine. It's a little by the books for me, but like, oh, whatever.
I think they should have definitely have started the show with like just category ace cards and not already have like a couple of the ones that they already had at the start, just so we're not ending up with as many refights thanks to the fucking
Remote card
that we're getting.
I mean, like it's fine. It's like they're still definitely trying to weave the like having a monster fight basically every episode with the plot. So it's like maybe they didn't have a budget for all right. So I'd like to say that like most of the special effects in this season look better than the previous seasons, barring the usual problems with hands that Kamen Rider seems to have. Barring that, the CG for this show and special effects look really nice. I really like them, but maybe because of that they didn't have a budget for costumes, so they're reusing to like save out on money or something.
Well, they have costumes for every undead. It's just it's just that we have a refight for nearly every single one, except for like the fucking Jack's Queens and Kings.
Mm. Well, I enjoy the monster and suit designs. Like I think they're good.
They're all right.
They're good. Not too bad. Not amazing. Then again, it's really hard to impress me with like monster suit designs. Like it's gotta be really like super nice for me to like give a shit about monster suit designs. I'm not super picky about them.
Yeah, I'm having an all right time rewatching it.
It's not too bad. Not that great, but it's not too bad.
Oh man, I just really want us to be caught up. That's all.
No, we're a little behind.
Oh, what it is. I'm really impatient. I just want to start watching Build now.
Literally 3 days ago, he tells me, "Man, I hate Bill. This guy's a punk ass bitch, and he's too powerful." And then he changed his mind like the next day.
No, I didn't change my mind. I just was less extreme about it.
He changed his mind.
No, I still think Bill's an asshole.
Don't worry,
I'm gonna be a Kamen Rider. First thing I do, steal the power of another Kamen Rider.
Don't worry, we'll get there. Alright, so next time we'll get to the middle part of Kamen Rider Blade. So, see you guys next time.